All right. Oh, there we go. Welcome to the Stimson Center. I'm Justine Sullivan. I'm the Vice President of External Affairs, and we're glad you're here, whether you're joining us in person or online, because you're in for a treat. Today, we're joined by the sitting ambassadors of all 3 member states of the Alliance of Sahel States, also known as the AES Confederation. They are His Excellency Koussoum Coulibaly of Burkina Faso, Her Excellency Clémence Barré of Niger, and His Excellency Sékou Bert of Mali. Each brings a distinctive national perspective, and together they represent a regional project that is reshaping the Sahel's political, security, and humanitarian landscape. The Sahel has undergone a profound transformation in a very short period of time. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have reconsidered their long-standing Western security arrangements, formed the AES, and are now navigating a set of challenges: security, governance, humanitarian conditions, critical minerals, with global implications. The story of the Sahel is no longer a peripheral one. It sits squarely in the middle of conversations about geopolitical realignment, great power competition, and what partnership between the United States and Africa can or should look like going forward. Today's discussion will span the AES political project, shifting security arrangements, humanitarian conditions on the ground, critical minerals governance, and the conditions under which a reframed relationship with the United States might be possible. At the Stimson Center, we believe that getting these conversations right requires hearing directly from the people shaping these decisions, not just reading about them. That's the whole point of our Ambassador Series, and it's why we're so pleased to have you here with us today. Our North Africa, Mediterranean, and the Sahel program has been at the forefront of research and dialogue on exactly these questions, and today's event reflects that commitment. Our conversation today is in very good hands. You're going to be moderated by my colleague Andrew Hyde, a senior fellow in our Strategic Foresight Hub here at the Stimson Center. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll join me in welcoming our distinguished guests. And I will now turn the floor over to our moderator. Andrew, over to you.
Thank you so much, Justine. Great to be here. Great to see all of you. Welcome, and really delighted to have our 3 guests here today. We've got a lot of ground to cover, I think, in a relatively short period of time, so I don't want to take too much time. But as Justine said, really our discussion today is going to center on the geopolitical, security, and developmental trajectories that are shaping the Sahel, and what would constitute going forward constructive engagement between the Sahel countries and the United States. We'll be looking at the AES political project, shifting security arrangements, humanitarian conditions, critical minerals governance, and the conditions under which a reframed relationship with the United States might be possible. To start, I'd like to invite Ambassador Coulibaly to give us some opening comments, as the Burkina Faso is currently in the chair of the AES, to give some opening comments, and then we'll engage in a discussion here on stage, and then look to the audience for questions. Ambassador, please.
I want to be stunned. No, you're up. Good evening to everybody, and welcome aboard the Sahel State Confederation Space Shuttle today. I would like to invite you to offer a prayer for all the victims of this war that was being forced upon us. May their soul rest in eternal peace. I would like also our prayer to accompany the defense and security forces, the volunteers, and the traditional hunters, and all those in anonymity contribute to the resilience of our people. Please make yourself comfortable and fasten your belt. I am Ambassador Koussoum Coulibaly, and together with my colleague, the Excellencies Sékou Bert and Clémence Barré at the control, I invite you to join us on a flight offering an overview of our Confederate space from 8 different perspectives. The flight will last approximately 15 minutes before they land at the Symptom Center for discussion. We hope you enjoy your time with us. Mr. the Moderator, ladies and gentlemen of Symptom Center, Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this meeting comes at a critical time in the life of our confederation. The Sahel state undergoing profound change marked by the institutional consolidation of the Alliance des États du Sahel. With the definition of a partnership, humanitarian change, economic stake, migration issue, the exploitation of critical minerals, and the prospect of new engagement with the United States of America. Our approach is based on a simple conviction. No state can meet the security challenge alone. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger have decided to pull the strategic vision, notably by pooling effort in terms of intelligence, operational capabilities, and diplomacy. It should be emphasized that the three countries, led by democratic elected civilian president, have created the Force multinationale de sécurisation du littoral gourgois on January 24, 2017, in Niamey, long before the forced operationalization of in July 2017 of the French-backed G5 Sahel Joint Force. The Alliance of Sahel States, which became a confederation on 6 July 2024, is neither isolationist nor opposed or international dialogue. It is sovereignty and denounced, coordinated and structured response for a multidimensional crisis which affects the security of state, the dignity of people, regional stability and development prospects, and which has not been resolved in all the years that foreign troops have been present in our three countries. The Sahel must be viewed solely through the lens of crisis. It's also a space of opportunity, resilience, and innovation. Its young population and abundant resources make it an ideal environment for rebuilding partnership based on respect, sincerity, and mutual interest. I will follow 8 phases. First, AES is an regional alignment, sovereignty, solidarity, and integration. The Confederation of Sahel States, in the culmination of dynamic process that began with the signing on September 16, 2023 of l'IPACO-Gourma Charter, which established the Alliance of Sahel States. It has a clear objective to strengthen the integration of member states with a view of achieving lasting peace, collective security, and shared prosperity. The Confederation motto, which is one space, one people, one destiny, reflects this desire to build an area of solidarity, trust, integration, and operational efficiency. The ultimate goal remains the gradual transformation of a confederation into a federation of a three states. The new governance paradigm is based on 3 principles: respecting the sovereignty of the state, respecting the strategic choice and their partners, and taking into account the higher interests of the people of a confederation in public decisions. The Confederation strategic vision is based on the major components. There are 3: diplomacy, development, and defense. To combine in international action, economic transformation, and territorial security in the comprehensive sovereign. Sovereignty does not mean closing up. It means the administration, political responsibilities, and the ability of the state to design and implement their strategy in accordance with their own realities without external injunction, while remaining open to balanced partnership. The approach is all the more logical given that those in charge of a national level knows the reality and the environmental and security context better than anyone else. The second point will be security and counterterrorism, restoring state authority and protecting populations. The Sahel is facing a complex, asymmetric, and cross-border war. That war cannot be reduced to a simple question of local terrorism or institutional fragility. Terrorism must not be depicted in terms that given the religious legitimacy. Remember that we will talk about this insecurity stems from NATO armed intervention in Libya. The blind barbarism cannot, on no account, find any political or religious justification. Safety is first foremost the responsibility of a state. It cannot be subcontracted. The state of a confederation is therefore undertaken to rebuild a sovereignty, defense capability, operational of a unified force, strengthen operation coordination, and treat the confederate territory as a coherent space for security action. This action is not for the benefit only the AES country. By combating terrorism in the Sahel region, the Confederation member states are contributing to the security of West Africa, the Maghreb, and more broadly the international partners. In reality, our countries provide public safety services to neighboring regions. However, the AES countries know that the response cannot be explicitly military. It must combine security, humanitarian and aid, development, justice, reconciliation, the cultural space, deradicalization, reintegration, governance reform, and the resolve of basic social services. The third point is concerning media, perception, and misinformation, the second front line. The war inside is also being waged on the information front. In addition to armed attacks, there are also narrative attacks. The reality of the Sahel are too often analyzed through an incomplete external perspective, sometimes disconnected from the deep aspiration of the populations. The sovereign choice made by the AES member state are sometimes presented an irrational rupture when in fact they reflect a popular demand for security, dignity, sovereignty, efficiency. It's not a matter of refusing debate or criticism, but of calling for a more rigorous, balanced, and respectful reading of local realities. This information takes many forms: application of uninformed information, silence on operational progress, downplaying of reconstruction efforts, an exclusive focus on crisis, or a systematic portrayal of AES state as close to international dialogue. The very presence of the ambassador of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger in Washington, on the contrary, illustrate an openness to dialogue, provided also based on a mutual respect, sovereignty, and the siege of the concrete solutions. Fourth point will be humanitarian access and human security. Without denying the persistence of security challenge, we must acknowledge the effort made to support the gradual return of displaced persons to the area of origin, condition permitting. State support this return by rehabilitating or building basic social infrastructure, protecting the most vulnerable population, supplying food and non-food items, and supporting agriculture and pastoral activities. Human security is therefore at the heart of the AES national action. Protecting population, restoring restoring essential services, promoting social cohesion and return to local economic life, and rebuilding the bond of trust between the state and the communities. 5, economic opportunity, agriculture, energy, critical mineral, and private sector. It will be incomplete to discuss the Sahel solely from the security angle. The AES region bought a number of major assets. Vast arable land, significant undertone water resource, pastoral potential, mining and energy resource, a young population, and a market of around 75 million inhabitants. Agriculture is a strategic sector. It addresses several priorities: food security, youth empowerment, women's employment, poverty reduction, rural area, sensibilization and limitation of forced immigration. Investing in Sahel agriculture means investing in peace, resilience, and food sovereignty. Critical minerals are another area of interest, but AES does not wish to reproduce the extractive model of the past, where resources leave a continent without sufficient local processing, massive job creation, or tangible benefit for our communities. Resource governance must be based on transparency, local processing, add value, and industrialization. The 6th point, AES leadership determination, protect, rebuild, and transform. AES leaders are committed in a historic phase of deep reform. Their determination is based on a clear sign analysis. All solutions have not produced the expected result. Therefore, new instruments, new alliances, and new public policy must be put in place. This determination can see in the reorganization of defense, the strengthening of operation cooperation, the patriotic mobilization of a population, governance reform, the promotion of indigenous development, and the development of international partnership. It is not directed against any country or region of the world. It's directed against the insecurity, dependence, poverty, criminal network, and all forms of domination that prevent silent side from fairly deciding their own future. The AES ambition is to return the Sahel as an area of permanent crisis into an area of sovereignty, security, production, connection, and dignity. The 7th point will be the crisis in the Middle West, regional economic impact, and the need of resilience. The crisis in Middle East represents an additional external shock for African economies, particularly in the Sahel. Because they are landlocked, AES countries, like many net energy and input importing economies, are particularly exposed to price increasing in the oil, gas, fertilizer, shipping, and imported products. The situation reinforces the urgent need for economic sovereignty. AES countries need to produce more, process more, become more self-reliant, than more with either order, and reduce their vulnerability to external shock. This requires investing in agriculture, solar energy, infrastructure, logistic corridors, telecommunication, light and distribution, and vacation training. This investment must be proportional to the population growth. The 8th point will be AES engagement need, renewed dialogue, and pragmatic cooperation. The state of a cooperation believe in interstate cooperation. They maintain diplomatic relations with numerous partners and remain open to constructive dialogue with the United States of America. To produce results, this dialogue must take into account new regional realities. It must be free of prejudice, perspective approach, and fixed reading. AES countries do not ask their partner to think for them. Their request is to be listening to, respected, and supported on the basis of clear defined priorities. Respecting the sovereignty of a state, of a confederation is an important level of deepening relations between two parties. The aim must be mutually beneficial cooperation geared toward concrete and measurable results. To conclude, Sahel is indeed at a crossroad, but this crossroad should not be seen solely as a crisis. It must also be understood as a historical opportunity to rethink partnership, strengthen state sovereignty, restore security, build protective economy, and bring out a new relation between Sahel and Africa, its neighbor and its international partner. AES is responsible to an emergency, but also a pressure for future. It reflects the determination of three people, of three states to regain the initiative, defend their dignity, protect their territory, and build a common area of security and development. We also welcome all sincere partners, including the United States of America, as long as dialogue is based on three simple principles: respect, trust, and mutual interest. Thank you for your kind attention. We are preparing to land at Simpson Center to continue with the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for that the broad overview of the AES and the honest assessment of the headwinds I think that your countries are facing in the security area and the economic area, but also the fresh look I think that your governments are taking at working together and some of your goals. We talked a little bit ahead of the session today about some of the security issues that have come up in recent years and has in some ways defined the Sahel region over the last few years in the eyes of the international community. And you gave us a very good overview, I think, of how the AES can help your countries collectively and individually respond to that. But I wonder if I could ask each of you maybe to just give us a little more of an idea about what this new security arrangement through the AES will mean and the partnerships it brings with it to conditions actually on the ground in your countries, the actual things and conditions that people are facing in each of your countries. And what are the benchmarks or the measurements that you're looking for to be able to make sure that you're making the improvements that you intend to? Maybe I'll just start since you gave us those remarks. But
okay, thank you for your question. Let's talk about the first point to get AES for security issues, knowing that the three countries are facing security issues. It's what I tell you in my remarks. It's not because there are two presidents which are military that we are coming on this stage. It was since 2017. Looking Liptako Guruma. The three presidents were civilian, elected, and there was thing at this time to get a force to combat terrorist invasion. So for the military, and it was like this time, these three military in power now are was actors in this fighting. We have a lot of experience also. They see a lot of things. If they can make a briefing, we can take all the day on it. But the arrangement now is sure. No, at this, with also second point, that we get international forces who stay in this area more than 10 years. What was the result? If someone can tell us here, yeah, if you can find it, how much the UN have spent in these forces? About 20,000 uniformed personnel. Taking into account Barkhane forces, what were also 5,000. and the European force, there is a lot of. So when you allow many people inform people, but the security was still going. The thing what was pending, what the Mali was divided in two. That means I've conducted my need to request formally the departure of international forces to be sure we can face our problem ourselves. I said also in the remark, security issue is not something to under-contracted. But first, to see what we need to go for our security. For which you also, second, when they come, looking was knowing what our experience of they have seen to go together and work together. We make to sure we can get our means together. I will give an example for this security issue. It's not like UN or NATO or European force. When there is an incident somewhere in a village not far from Niger, you not from Mali, you not get Mali forces to go there. We'll manage to let Niger forces to go to trade this trade. The same in Burkina Faso border, in the same Mali border is what we do between. Without any compensation. This is something to be known. All this we are doing is without compensation. Burkina Faso helicopters or Mali helicopters can intervene in Mali, Burkina and Niger without any compensation. It's for that we are going to the next step to implement or to constitute the force, the unified force of a confederation where is headquarters at Niamey. It's still rebuilding, they are trying to get equipment to be sure very safe. But the issue is here, we were so this you are a lot of time. But now this is coming because it's led by Russia, it's led by Turkey. No, it's led by our three leaders. Now for the means, is what I also say, we try to implement our sovereignty. I need to buy a weapon, I will go to buy a weapon where I can get it. Another information that I have to give to you, be informed, but in this situation, before we get our confederation, if I am in Burkina, I want to buy a weapon, it was a big challenge for me. Because European countries, our partners, they were helping us to fight terrorism. I want to buy a weapon with them, and they refuse to sell me this weapon. What kind of partnership is it? What kind of partnership is it? You are helping me. We are together. We want to fight terrorism. In your document, in writing, you have to fight terrorism everywhere, at any time. Why in these three countries we are fighting terrorism, nobody comes to tell you, I want to help you. This is not a matter. I'm not requesting. But what I need, my people collect money. I want to buy weapons, and you prefer to sell to me. This is an issue what we need to manage. It was the same problem even with America here. We are lucky with the venue of President Donald Trump. This is not an issue, a national for us. We can buy, it's okay, we can buy weapons here. If not get problem with America, most of Africa, we can France, Belgium, Canada, German, to buy weapons. Why? Is it the same terrorism that come down? Or this terrorism is not really terrorism? It's what we are telling now. This terrorism in our country is like something what is sponsored by some great countries. If not, you cannot explain to anybody. This is our real problem. What we are facing now is what you can see with a lot of action to destabilize us. But you know, they are pushing this terrorism to let us concentrate, killing ourselves between us, and let them come after to take our minerals on our underground. But I will stop here to let others speak, even to tell something.
Would our other two guests like to make a comment?
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here today. And thanks also for the Stimson Center to organize this debate. After my colleague, Excellency Coulibaly, I think that what we can say is that the Alliance des États du Sahel is very young. It's a very young initiative, and when you look in the past months, I think we have achieved a lot of things. Despite a lot of challenges, despite a lot of real obstacles to really succeed. For example, I can talk about Niger. You know that in this alliance, Niger has a specific situation because when the coup was done in July 2023, the reaction of the international community was so hard that I think that it was something incredible. We had sanctions so hard that never have seen before. We had embargo, including on medicines, including on food, so, and financial constraints as well. So for a country with so no access to the sea, it was something very difficult for the population. So this is where I think the things began. Because the population was so upset by this situation, even they were resilient, it was a shock. And it affected a lot of things in the hospitals, in the people, in the families. So we had to fight both against the problems of the terrorism, and also we had to really manage this difficult situation. So that's why I think when the other two countries came and supported Niger, the population was outside. The women were outside day and night asking really to bring out all the military troops that were there. If you can understand Niger, we had, I don't think, maybe 5 or 6 countries with troops. And the problem is that we were not in the driver's seat. We didn't have information on what was going on with the troops there, because the people we have in the room, our defense attaché, who can talk about, the people were not able to come in the caserne of the troops, foreign troops, including military, national military. So it was difficult to understand where we can really organize the defense of our own country. So now, even people say that the conditions are not good. What we can say is that the situation is improving. The coordination between our 3 countries is working. This model is working because in the past we tried several models. We tried several systems that didn't give results. And the terrorism was increasing. So this coordination that is now between the 3 AES countries did not exist in the past. And what we can say also, I don't know if you will give me the floor for continuing discussing about the successes in terms of economy, ownership, and also all the future that we are preparing in terms of mining. I can tell you.
I want to come back to that.
Yeah.
But yes, just let's talk a little more about security.
Yeah.
Mr. Ambassador.
So security is important for us because without security, we don't have development.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Let me thank Stimson for the opportunity really to let us convey our message. We are going through a time of misinformation from Western media vis-a-vis the Confederation of Sahel States. We have been through a lot. We have common challenges, basically security challenges today. But what we are going through is not our making. We were imposed to fight against terrorism. We are not terrorist countries. We do not know what terrorism is. you remember well, our president said during his opening remark, it started first from Libya, when Gaddafi was taken down 2011 by NATO forces. Terrorism started to spread. But today what we see is more than terrorism, is mercenary train, finance, directed to act by foreign sponsors against our countries. And why so? Because, you know, we are rich minerally, our three countries. We have the biggest deposit of oil and gas. We have the most livestock in Africa. Our three countries have the most deposit of gold in Africa. We have a very wide range of arable land in terms of agriculture. We have lithium, big deposit. We have uranium. We have everything the Western needs for the economy. And because we stand to defend for ourselves, we stand to decide for ourselves. That's part of the problem we are facing today. And the audience need to understand that not long ago, Mali was invaded by about 12,000 terrorist mercenaries, which led to the killing of our defense minister. A very planned, coordinated, and financed by Western sponsors to act so, which never happened before. So just to highlight briefly, what we are going through is a well-coordinated Western sponsor against us for who we are, and because we are standing to be who we are standing to decide for our own, and we are standing for our sovereignty. We want our people to benefit from our resources. That's why everything is done today internationally to try to dismantle the Confederation of the Sahel State, because who we are and because the resources we have. But we're gonna stand, we're gonna face all those trouble, all those challenges, we'll fight back and we'll prevail. Thank you.
And you're going to do it together, as you're saying, through the AES,
Exactly.
through your alliance.
Yes.
And so much of a common theme here, obviously, is you're talking about reclaiming your sovereignty, having the voice in the security partnerships and in the economic voice, having the dominant voice. You've had so many outsiders, partnerships, both security and economic, that have, in effect, done things in your countries on their own or without your consent. Now you're saying you're seizing the initiative here.
Yeah.
I do want to open this up to some questions from the audience. Would like to start in person. We do have a substantial audience online too, and I welcome people to submit questions online to me, and I will read them out as they come in. But I'd like to start in the audience now. Is there anybody who has a question that would like to kick off? It's always a transition. Here we go. We're going to get a microphone.
Your Excellencies, I'm Pio Mnyandu from Howard University Center for African Studies. When it comes to trade negotiations with this current administration, has the AES taken a team approach, or you've done it as individual countries? And would you kindly tell us the prospects and how you have fared in this regard?
Who wants to take that one first?
Okay, I can.
Okay.
Okay. You know, like we said all along, we are open to all partners. In that term, we had some U.S. officials visiting our respective country, talking about business. In my country, Mali, right now, there's one U.S. company that are operating in gold, and we are open to have more U.S. companies in lithium or in any other businesses in Mali or in our respective country. But in that sense, there are some norms established in AES countries that you cannot break away, which is to defend to benefit from our resources, which is our people need to benefit from our resources. So we are for a win-win partnership, but we are not for one side dictating to us what to do or what you want. And it's because of that, because we decided to break away for what was considered before as a norm, which was fake to our understanding. So we decided to break away from those norms, which was fake, and that's why today we are facing what we are facing. We are open. Any US businesses are welcome in our countries. Thank you.
Anybody else care to comment on that?
No, just to reinforce and say, I tell you, we are not locked. We are open to all of us, all the partnership. The problem is what we have already seen with our eyes. So we are very, very smart now to be sure when you are coming to us, be sure you come in the interest, the shared interest, the win-win. Don't come and you want to get, but you say you are strong. We are not afraid of anybody now.
So
The interest of our people are the first thing. First is the people. If the interest of the people are respected, we will see what will be best for us. And now we go ahead.
So that leads into sort of, I think, the larger question, and you've touched on it in your remarks, and I think in all of your comments, about the relationship that you envision having with the United States going forward. You've mentioned how terrorism was really not homegrown. It was imported into your countries, but it has now, unfortunately, in many ways become a feature of how the rest of the world views the Sahel region. In fact, recently there was and I have a question online that touches on this, talked about the AFRICOM commander talking about that terrorism is still a very big concern for the United States in the Sahel region. And so I think the question a little bit is, as you've all stated, you want to have your voice, the AES voice, you want to be led from your countries. But outside powers, the United States in this case, has real concerns about terrorism, and what terrorism is flourishing in some ways still in parts of your countries. How do we reconcile that a little bit? How do we reconcile what you're being the dominant leadership voice and yet responding to concerns from the United States, from Europe, elsewhere, saying, yeah, terrorism's a real problem. We have to tackle that. What does that actually look like going forward?
No, let me try to say something. Let me before remind you what it was, the partnership before. Before we have international forces or partners in our countries, which in the aim, they come to help us to fight terrorism. But be informed, I tell you, I was also on ground. They are fighting terrorism without us. When you come to help to fight terrorism, let's sit together, let's plan, let's conduct. But don't come to me to fight terrorism, and you have your own plan, you have your own team of maneuver, and I'm not aware. That was the real problem. You cannot come in my country, in my ground. I'm concerned. We are fighting terrorism together. You have some action I'm not aware. It's in the region, I will hear, there is attack there. This force have done this. Why? I'm not aware before. Or sometimes it's the village people who can call. We get helicopter here, we've done this problem. No. We are together, we need to be sure. When you come to work with her, we have to plan everything. We have to work together in the trust. This trust was not existing. That was the problem when we issued with her, please, all the force international we don't want to work with, let's go in another order.
So do you feel that message is getting through now here in Washington, that the U.S. government understands that?
Yes. Yes. As ambassador of Eritrea, I have a lot of reasons for that. We are communicating here with the State Department on the different section, or about how to conduct this, how to come against, how to get exchange for training, or we are managing all this, but we see what is real. Because when you want for me, for the training, I'm on operation every time. My training is on ground. It's like it was a problem what those who are aware of Initiative Accra, who are on ground. When you come to me, you want to maneuver. Me, I'm fighting. I'm fighting even now. What we need to go to in the south, with Ghana or Ivory Coast to make a maneuver. Why? Me, I'm in the fire. If you want, come, we'll fight together. This is a partnership. This is a boundary. But don't tell me why I'm fighting in the north. Come in the south and let's make a maneuver forward. Please, it's good for us. That was the problem.
Other questions?
Can I add something?
Yeah, sorry, please.
Yeah. You know, terrorism is one of the area we are having dialogue with US, our partner. This is something they have been through, and we are going through right now. We are open, and we are talking, but they need to understand, any partner, we are not ready, or we don't intend to outsource our security to any outside power anymore. And that's the basic, and that's the bottom line. And from that basic, we can have any talk with anybody, with any partner, with any foreign country. But we don't intend to outsource or to sublease our security to any country anymore. We talk as partner, what we can do together. In terms of, for example, intelligence sharing, that's area we can plainly work with. But to have any foreign security forces foot on the ground in our country, we don't allow that anymore. We have partner we work with because we have armed dealing with them. That's all.
Madam Ambassador.
Yes, if I can add something, is to say that really with the United States, something is new, and I think it's only here that we have this approach, is that now the government have understood that we need to work together. So we have meetings together, all three, as AES, with the State Department, with the people at the other side, the White House, and the other partners. It's mostly together.
So they're seeing how lined up you are with each
they
other.
see the alignment, they understand it, and they are really keen to work with us. And as my colleague said, we are working since several years, but we are continuing the partnership, including on intelligence, and the discussion are ongoing, and we hope that it will be strengthened very soon.
Yeah. Thank you. Question here, sir. Yes. Just wait for the microphone if you could, so our audience can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm Ebiaka. I'm a son of West Africa. Great supporter for the AES initiative. I think America has been really wasting a great opportunity. I'm sitting here, I'm counting 49 million African Americans here. The African Americans here, they are our extended family. So America is our home too. If there is a situation like what we are facing in AES with that exported terrorism in our land, America should be the first in the line of combat. Sometimes America, from the beginning, as I said, that we're trying to buy weapons, they were not selling them. Sometimes when America sells weapons, it's like, okay, we sell you the weapon, but we hold the trigger. We have to allow you to pull the trigger. If somebody buy a weapon from you, you let him use it, teach him how to use it, and they will use it. What they need, you can get them, help them with the training. America can help them with the training. They don't need American forces on the ground. Just help them with the training. You have the weapons, you help them how to use those weapons, you sell them. But our family, 49 million people here, America should be in the lines of combat everywhere because we have our family. The family here, 49 million, they're still part of Africa. Our future is more linked than Europeans. So America must not waste this opportunity.
Okay.
That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you. So, and I think in your remarks you talked a little bit about the U.S. security partnership and weapons, and said, in fact, that this administration you felt was more supportive of, in effect, freedom of action on your part.
Yes. No, it is well done. When the Donald Trump administration, it was clear that, this issue can manage. No. If you know something, America is ready to sell to you. We are on it. If not Burkina Faso, Niger, when we face it, because we are using aircraft, it was a sort of, we don't understand it. We are make deal with Brazil for aircraft. And Brazil don't tell us nothing. And after, to deliver, Brazil said, no, the aircraft, it will be difficult for me to finalize because the avionics system is coming from America. I don't get permission. The radio and something coming from this country. The weapons are coming from Brussels. I say, what is it? When we are making the business, you don't tell us of us. Now we was blocked to get this aircraft. Until now, we didn't get this aircraft. We were obliged to change. Is it fair for that? But for the real issue. Now for the America, it's clear. But the others countries, it's very simple. Even for this aircraft, I cannot get because I cannot get a weapon on it. I cannot get navigation radio system. It's coming from Occidental countries. So we are obliged. We are facing one. We let down. So what we be sure for us in terms of partnership, or when we are getting something, to be sure the vendors are honest to us to say, I am selling you this item. Please, let's check if I can get permission for exploitation with this country. This will be fun for. If not, what will go on? It's for what men we see. It was easier to get equipment in Russia, to get equipment in Turkey, to get equipment in China, because there are no issue of that.
Yeah.
So when they say no, Russia or Turkish are forcing you, I tell, please, we are not children. We are adults. We know what is happening. We are on ground. It's like when you are in a dam sinking. I think everything you get, you come to grab it to be sure you cannot sink.
Okay, we've got just a couple minutes left, and we've touched on a number of topics. There's so many more I would like to spend time on. Unfortunately, we don't have that time. I think each of you at some point mentioned sort of the information environment and misinformation, disinformation, and I think how your country's reputations have suffered as a result of that. I'd be interested to sort of flip that around here, and this is based on a question that has come in online. What is the sort of positive story that you want to be able to tell about the Sahel region to the Western media that you would like people in Washington and the United States and in the world to know about where you're taking the vision you have for your region over the next 5 years?
No, what we need to be sure when there's something concerning us, to take out in mutual respect, to come to us and we discuss together. Many newspapers, many information, many communication, they go to internet and check what is there or social media and take it and write it. That is not reality on the ground. The last events in Mali, how can you understand that in official radios for democratic country who are passing interview for terrorists? It's a shame for the world. Why not coming to see what is happening on the ground? What is government to say our support can give you? But if you are here to spray the fake news or the news of someone else, what are you looking to do? In Africa, it says when you're coming to put oil in the fire. We are looking for information to be shared. It's for what I tell you when I tell you we are happy to be here, because we at AES country, we want to communicate. And one of the way of AES policy to say the truth. And we are really everywhere to say the truth. We are not in this like diplomacy. Please, we are diplomats. We want to be say we go on truth. Something clear. I will tell okay, is white is white. I will not tell you like white or red. I will tell you is white, is black, is red. No matter for what. I'm diplomat. But this is what means as African countries stay, we are still have behind. Sometimes the leaders are afraid to say truth. We have to tell truth to our people, our communities. They say what is happening on ground. Please, let's take action together and see what to do. Don't let someone or say something for us, and then we are seeing you are losing. No. You remember when there's some activity, the people of a different country go out and demonstrate. this is not something good. What you're telling is not true. It's
Yeah.
very right. Because we are trying to simply to be sure that people understand what is happening. It's what Burkina Faso is implementing, the revolution, progressive revolution, to be sure all the people know what is coming. Progressive revolution for and popular, everybody is concerned. Even if they're fighting, even the women come to training. Because when terrorists come, they are not saying you are military or not, you are a woman or not. They kill everybody. Sometimes they take the women for them, and they burn the others. Why not be trained and give some and how to work in share information with the military or for defense forces? In Burkina, we have a volunteer. We are going on it. And we are sure we cannot get uniformed personnel everywhere. So if the population is included, this might get, and you can get experience on ground. It's not the first time.
Okay, well, thank you. I want to invite the audience to thank our guests.
You should allow the last one
Oh,
also
okay.
for us
We're running.
before
Sorry.
you close.
Okay,
Exactly.
all right.
Yes.
Yes, please.
So let me, my colleague.
I just, in the alignment of what have been said, we really need to have good narratives on what is really happening on the ground. People want only to show the bad experiences, talking about democracy and not highlighting the real progress that we have on the ground. So we need the support from the communication, the people, the diaspora here in America. We need really to show what is the AES. AES now, in a past survey in our 3 countries, it showed that it's supported by more than 70% of the people in our countries and also in Africa. It's something really that speaks to us instead of always going to say, no, there is no justice, there is no, it's not true. We are respecting the international laws. We are working in the dignity of our population, and we are in the driver's seat, and we want the things to change, and we know that the future of the AES will be very, very good for the people, and the prosperity is at the end of the
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Mr. Ambassador.
Okay, thank you. I just want to add that despite the media terrorism we are facing from the West, our people stand with our government. If you go on the ground, do your own polling, you will realize that. So we have been combating today by all those forces, sponsor our terrorism, mercenary, because we fight for our sovereignty. We fight to be respected. We fight to have a win-win partnership. We fight so that future generation can benefit from our own resources. The Confederation is a Sahel state, is a model which the West is trying by all costs to dismantle, because they did that before. There have been so many unions attempting in Africa. They all failed. Why? They need to understand the time and the era have changed. This is a connected world, whereby everything you do there now, in my village, they know we are here talking. So things have changed. And they need to adapt their software so we can work, we can talk as partners respectfully and advance together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you. Thank you both. Thank all 3 of you for joining us.
Please try to thank you as moderator on the name of the 2 others, and thank also the organizer. And this is the first time. I think we'll get more than that. I hope for that, and thank you.